Imagine uncovering a tomb in ancient Egypt, sealed away in the dark for over 3,000 years. Inside, among the gold and priceless artifacts, archaeologists find a simple, unassuming jar. When they open it, they find a thick, golden liquid that is completely, perfectly edible. That liquid is honey. It is the only natural food on Earth that practically never spoils. But how does a tiny insect create a substance that outlasts empires? Welcome to Short's Moral Stories.
Today, we're looking at a simple jar of honey sitting in your kitchen pantry and uncovering the incredible, almost magical chemistry it took to get there.
The journey of honey doesn't actually begin with bees, it begins with flowers.
To entice insects, flowers produce nectar, a sweet, watery liquid.
This is where our hero, the female worker bee, comes in. She is a forager. Every single day, she visits up to 1,500 flowers.
To make just 1 pound of honey, a colony needs to visit around 2 million flowers, flying a cumulative distance equal to orbiting the Earth 3 times.
When a forager lands on a bloom, she uses her long, tube-like tongue, called a proboscis, to suck up the nectar.
But she doesn't digest it. Instead, she stores it in a specialized internal pouch called a honey stomach. This is where the true science begins. Inside the bee's honey stomach, the nectar mixes with a special enzyme called invertase. This enzyme immediately starts breaking down the complex sugars of the plant nectar into simpler, more digestible sugars, glucose and fructose. When her honey stomach's completely full, the forager flies back to the dark of the hive. But she doesn't just spit the nectar into a honeycomb. She passes it on to a younger processor bee, mouth to mouth. The processor bee essentially chews the nectar for about half an hour, adding even more enzymes from her own glands. This isn't just about making it sweeter.
These enzymes create trace amounts of gluconic acid and hydrogen peroxide, turning the mixture into an acidic environment highly hostile to bacteria.
It's no longer nectar, but it isn't honey yet. At this stage, the liquid is far too watery. If the bees left it as it is, the high moisture content would cause it to ferment and spoil across the perfect hexagonal wax cells of the honeycomb. Then thousands of bees perform a coordinated miracle. They stand over the cells and beat their wings at incredible speeds, creating a massive, continuous draft of warm air throughout the entire hive. This constant fanning literally evaporates the water right out of the nectar. The moisture level drops from around 80% down to less than 8%. Finally, the liquid becomes thick, sticky, and immortal. To protect their masterpiece, the bees seal the cell with a fresh, airtight layer of beeswax, locking it away for the harsh winter. The next time you stir a spoonful of honey into your morning tea, or drizzle it over your breakfast, pause for just a moment. You are looking at the life's work of dozens of bees. In fact, a single worker bee will produce just 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in her entire lifetime. Your single spoonful took thousands of miles of flight and millions of flowers to create. It is a true masterpiece of nature, chemistry, and teamwork. Thank you for exploring the surprising history behind the simple things with us today. If you enjoyed this journey,
please hit that like button, share this video with a curious friend, and subscribe to Short's Moral Stories for more fascinating stories.
see you next time.